Hello, this week we're going to graph rational form. Last week you graphed standard form. This week we're going to graph rational form. But before we do that, we need to learn about a few concepts for that graphing. And it's going to use your factoring that you reviewed last week also. For today, we're going to talk about vertical asymptotes. Remember, a vertical asymptote runs north and south, and they're all x equals equations. To find a vertical asymptote, if you look here with this definition I've given you, you look in the denominator to be 0. Because if the denominator is 0 in a fraction, it's undefined. That's why you get an asymptote. So we're looking only in the denominator for where it would be 0. You would factor the denominator if needed, and then solve to get that value for x. I have a couple of examples that we'll do together to do that, and then the bottom half is you doing these 6 problems and just giving me those vertical asymptotes. Remember that a vertical asymptote is a vertical line and therefore an equation, not just a number. So for on the first one, it's all factored for you. I only want to look in the denominator and what would make x minus 3 equal to 0. You could, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, take the denominator x minus 3 and set it equal to 0 to solve for x. That gives you the equation x equals 3. That means when I'm graphing and I'm trying to find the vertical asymptotes, if I put a 3 in for x, 3 minus 3 gives me 0 in the denominator, and that's undefined. That's why it's an asymptote. The second problem, move over to the right there, it's also already factored for you. Now, it just so happens that you have 2 factors in the denominator, which is fine. You can have 2 vertical asymptotes. However, do you notice that in this one, we have both an x minus 1 in the numerator and denominator. And that actually cancels out and gives you what's called a whole. We'll get to wholes on Wednesday, but that gives you a whole, not an asymptote. Therefore, leaving us with just one factor again in the denominator, and again, that factor set it equal to 0, just like we did on the first problem, and we get x equals 3 again. That's our vertical asymptote. On the third one, it's not factored for us. Again, just looking at the denominator, we're going to have to factor that one first. I'm going to rewrite the denominator, it's a difference of squares, into x plus 1 and x minus 1. The 4x in the numerator just stays there. I don't have a matching factor top and bottom this time, but I have 2 factors, so both of these are going to give me asymptotes. If x plus 1 was set equal to 0, I would get the equation x equals negative 1. And if x minus 1 was set equal to 0, I would get the equation x equals positive 1. Both of these are vertical asymptotes on the third problem. So for you now, you're going to do the bottom 6 for your assignment. And you'll also notice that the second page has an answer key for both the notes and for your set of problems. So get those turned in for Monday, nice and quick.